thank you for tuning in here on YouTube or your favorite social media platform. I am Aaron Campbell. I'm the director of the Secret City Improv Festival. And I always get it backwards because it always, to me, it's like it should be over there, but it's over here on me. All of our information, how to get tickets, donate, become a sponsor, find us on our social media. The Secret City Improv Festival is September 30th and October 1st with 7 shows, 18 professional troupes, and 5 high school groups that'll be joining us to perform on stage at the historic Grove Theater in Oak Ridge, Tennessee. And who I have with me today is Rogue Schmidt from Magic Improv, coming all the way from Chicago, Illinois. Howdy, Rogue.
Yeah, coming at you from the central time zone. Good old Chicago. We are very, very excited to come down to the Eastern time zone in Tennessee. Yeah,
so tell everybody about Magic Improv. I know it's not just Rogue, there are other members, but we're doing this in the middle of the day on a Friday, so everybody's already took off for their weekend plans.
True. Yes, Magic is not just me. It is myself, Rogue Schmidt. It is Sage Houston, Zach Hacker, Sierra Kenyon, Leon Williams, and Haley Reeves. So there's 6 of us. And yeah, we perform all around Chicago. We are technically an independent team. So we're not quite attached to one theater, but most of us do sort of, our comedy home is the Annoyance Theater. And we had like a little Tuesday slot going on for a little bit. There at the Annoyance, I'd say that's where you can find majority of us at any point in time, is that theater.
And then you all, it's not just that you guys are at the Annoyance, you all have trained at the other improv centers in Chicago, because that is basically the heart and soul of improv in the US.
Yeah, we've got people, we've all trained at either Annoyance, at IO, at Second City. Couple of us are in shows at Second City right now, in shows at the Annoyance, about to be in shows at the IO. We are a very, very busy group of individuals, and we perform at like smaller theaters here in the city that are thriving and lovely, like the Bug House, the Crowd, so many great spots, Redline VR, beautiful, beautiful places that we love to perform at.
So what's it like going from being in a place like the Annoyance to going to one of those smaller, probably more intimate theaters? What's that experience like?
Yeah, I think it's, at least with Magic, our form is very audience-based, and we give a lot of time with our audience, with our sets. Like we probably take the first like 6 minutes, even 7, where we're just interacting with the audience as a group, where we just want to like chat with them, see how their day is, see what's going on there. And all the while we're pulling themes for ourselves of like something that maybe someone said, or like an inflection that someone gave, or just like a situation that has happened. We're secretly planning in our heads some things to pull from. And I would say at the like bigger theaters like the Annoyance, I would say they seat, oh gosh, this is me guesstimating, maybe like 50, 60 people in their main room. And sometimes we find people spread out. And so it's a little different to have us on stage wanting to sort of like get this like group mentality going with us, the performers and the audience, when it feels like they're very spread out. But if we're in like a very intimate setting, like at Logan Square Improv, which is another delightful small theater we all go to a lot. It is one room. It is all of us sort of packed in there, and it's such a, like, not to like do a pun, but it's a magical feeling because we're all in there and at the ready to be interacting with each other. Audience is ready to interact with us, and we're ready to interact with the audience. And even the stage levels, I find matter. At the Annoyance, we're sort of elevated above the crowd a little bit, but at LSI, specifically there, we're very much so maybe like 6 inches off the ground. And that just sort of creates a very like sparky set for us. Yeah, if that makes sense. I feel like that's very ethereal the way I'm describing it.
That's for us here in East Tennessee, the all these little intimate theaters, we have a few that they're not necessarily improv based. They're they're classical, more, they're classical theater style. So the Theater Knoxville Downtown or the Flying Anvil Theater, both of those they're smaller theater spaces that do big productions. And the same with, we have the Tennessee Theater and the Bijou Theater, and both of those are big grand theaters. And then the Oak Ridge Playhouse is another smaller, probably about 100-seat theater. And it's it's another wonderful space. And then there's other community theaters throughout, but improv theaters are, a lot more of them either become proscenium theaters or they become black box, or they're black box theaters, which theater or improv done in a black box type of theater is insane to watch, because it's just not like, I saw One Flew Over the Cuckoo's Nest in a black box theater one time.
Wow.
And if you don't know what a black box theater is, that's basically a theater where everybody, the whole audience sits around the stage. Is probably the easiest way to describe it. So to see something like One Flew Over the Cuckoo's Nest, yeah, it's, that's an insane play in its own right. To see it in theater and around is really insane too. But also seeing improv where something's being created on stage, where now they have the whole audience around them, that becomes a whole different part of world building. Mm-hmm. And then I like the way Magic does the interaction with the audience to create this whole world. It's not just, with some people, when they get a story for like a herald, or like we do in playback, you get you get one perspective, and I like the idea of it's everybody's world. So that's a neat aspect that not a lot of troupes do. So it's a long form show. Mm-hmm. So how would you describe the style of Magic, or what makes Magic magic?
Yeah. I would say the character choices, I feel like we're all such big proponents of big, large choices, and no matter the choice that any one of us on stage makes, the character that, like for example, if I'm playing with Sierra, we both make large character choices, and we both have this worldview that anything can happen. If I make this big character choice, Sierra doesn't have to play sort of like a character that would like compliment me or anything. Sierra just has to play what Sierra is going to play. We're all so concrete in our own choices that it really just creates this delightful playground for each one of us to play in. And I think it's because all of us have done training at the Annoyance, where that's like their big thing is, what is it? It's the like airplane analogy that they use, where it's like you have to like sustain yourself in your character before you can even start playing with anyone else. You got to make sure your own oxygen mask is on. You can't put someone else's on. You have to just take care of yourself first. And then everything else after that is sort of just this playground that we all make together and then play on like the little gremlins we are. Yeah, I think that's what makes us special, is we all have a lot of trust in each other and truly are all so wickedly talented with our acting and our choices that we make. And then we all pull different things from the audience, like something that like Sage will really zone in on and hone in on. I might like have it totally go over my head, but then when she brings it back in the set, it's like, oh, of course, like she held on to that thing. I held on to this thing. This other person held on to this thing. And it's all just like a delightful way that we play together. It's magical.
I love the name of the troupe because improv in its own right is magic. I mean, and it's a show you'll never see twice. So I love that. I just love the name. I think that's so incredibly fitting. So since the other members of the troupe aren't here, let's talk about them for a little bit, because I love to give people an idea of kind of what to expect from the other, from their other players. So how would you describe what the strengths of the other players are?
Yeah. We'll start with Zach. Zach is so great to play with. I feel like I always get delighted when I play with Zach when Zach is playing like a very stoic father. And I think he's so great at like this world building in his way. I feel like he's such an actor where I'm like, that boy's acting right now, and I love it. I feel like Zach really brings this fun, kind of sinister, like vibe to the sets. And I definitely think with his stoicism that I really admire. Because sometimes I feel like for me, I play like large characters that are wacky or doing something wacky. And so it's nice to have that balance and have Zach bring that grounding. Sierra also plays these beautiful, delightful, juicy characters. I feel like Sierra has like this delightful imagination that she just lets rip when she's on stage. So I think that her creativity is so just like electric that you can't help but just like anytime I'm like on the sidelines watching a scene with Sierra in it, I'm thinking to myself, I'm like, how can I puzzle piece my way into a walk-on? Sage is the most clever person I have ever met. The way her mind works is incredible. I also think she brings callbacks. She remembers so much that you say. And the way that she brings like a callback is truly, it's like the perfect bow on a package, on a present. And same just has a delightful way that she holds her characters that is amazing to play with. Haley has one of the fastest minds I've ever seen. And I love that. I feel like Haley brings the outside world into the performance, where she has this way that she creates where, like, if I'm focusing really hard on the relationship, I feel like Haley is bringing in like past, present, future things, like very much taking stock of like what is in this room that we're in together, and what are the odd things that like clutter up the space. And I think that just the way she plays is so incredible. That's what I love about Hales. And again, sometimes Haley's mind works so fast, I'm left in awe, even when I'm performing with her. Her mind is incredible. Leon, same. They are just a person who brings their whole self to each performance. And I think Leon gave a quote one time before a Superhuman set, where they said that they want to lead with love. And I've like always remembered that, and I see that in their characters too. They also lead with love, and they have such a like spunky way of creating that also it's just magical to be a part of. It's truly I think everyone's strengths is that they're so strongly rooted in themselves. And that's what I also see when Leon is on stage, is I'm like, this is a person who's having the absolute most fun at any time with any choice. And even if it's goofy and weird, it's like the thing where we're all just like, this is a blast. So I love that about Leon. And when we all, oops, sorry, that's my timer. When we all get together, it truly does feel like magic. And that's, I think, why Zach chose an incredible name for the group.
And it was a blast getting to watch the submission video, and I can't wait to see Magic on stage. So we've got a couple of more minutes. I know you've got to go, and we're on, literally Zoom has a time clock on me. So so real quick, you can catch Magic at the end of the festival. They are our closer for this year. So you will see them on October 1st at, I think, about 10:45 or so, and it is going to be a lot of fun. And then Rogue is also going to be doing something incredibly special. She's going to be working with us and are in the Sladen intensives working with high school groups on Saturday, October 1st. So real quick, tell us about the opportunity to get to work with the high schoolers, and a little bit about your background.
Yeah, super excited to do that. I teach currently out in the suburbs at Laugh Out Loud, Schaumburg. I've been the level 1 teacher for a few semesters now. I've done the level 2 class, I've done level 3. It's level 1 just like has such a special place in my heart. I love that like foundations of just like truly sometimes it's about yes-anding yourself before you can even yes-and the person that you are across from in the scene. I think sometimes the like hardest barrier to break through is, how do I yes and me and this other person at the same time? And so I feel like in level 1 out in Schaumburg, that's what I try to get across to my students is let's yes and ourselves first, and have that be something that we can ground ourselves in. Is that like self-confidence and self-exploration, and getting back into that like truly playful place that we all have access to, that I think sometimes as we get older, we don't like to access that part of ourselves. But I think that improv is a great way to remain playful and rooted in the way we used to be as kids. So yeah, I'm excited to work with the students at the intensive and see what we all can bring, and hopefully some more Magic members can also join for that.
That's going to be a ton of fun, and we cannot wait to have Magic be with us. here at the Secret City Improv Festival. Rogue, thank you so much. We've got to go because they're about to kick me off of Zoom, and we cannot wait to see everybody. Magic, come visit us at the Secret City Improv Festival September 30th and October 1st for 7 awesome shows at the Historic Grove Theater in Oak Ridge, Tennessee. Find us on all of your socials and buy your tickets. So I ran out of time when we were doing this on Zoom. So just a reminder, besides our 7 awesome shows, you can pick up tickets from secretcityimprovfest.com/tickets. Please throw us a couple of dollars to help us grow this festival and help make it a ginormous success. You can do that by going to secretcityimprovfest.com/donate. Check us out on all of the social media and be sure to get your tickets now. Thank you for watching. I'm Aaron Campbell. Peace.